Hello everyone, I am Ankita Asthana and I am a portrait and wedding photographer. For those who are new to my channel, most welcome. Here's a short intro. I began my journey professionally as a photographer about 11 years back when I did my masters in photography. My personal connection with photography is much older, but that's a story for another time. Since then, it has been an interesting journey of exploring different genres like fashion, wildlife, travel, product, industrial, and even architectural photography because of my background as an architect. At some point, though, I fell in love with capturing human beings and their emotions. Something about weddings attracted me, and I chose to specialize in the field. I founded the photography and filming company called WeddingNama. On my channel, I share my personal opinions and experiences with the gear that I use. None of the reviews are sponsored by any brand unless I specify it. Sometimes it is my own gear, sometimes I borrow or rent it out because I like to keep myself updated with new technology and what it can add to my workflow. Being a wedding photographer is challenging in itself, and I want to ensure that I give my couples memories to last a lifetime. So, whatever gear is needed to help me do that, I just go for it. For the longest time, I shot weddings with the D5, and then came the D850, which I absolutely loved. And yes, I made the switch to a lighter body. If you shoot weddings, you will understand why. Since last 2 years, I have been using the Nikon mirrorless Z7 for almost all my wedding shoots as I needed a trustworthy, lightweight system for shooting long hours. I have posted a review about it earlier on my channel. Do check it out. Today, I want to share with you my views on the Nikon D6. I have been using it for about a week or so now, but I didn't get a chance to shoot a wedding with this. This is a real world test and review with behind the scenes to a specific shoot that I organized to test this camera's autofocus capabilities in the dark. I also shot a little football with it in the rain, which you might have seen earlier, and I did some freeze motion shoots with it as well. If you're looking for technical chart tests, then maybe this video isn't for you. Alright then, let's discuss the D6. This camera is specifically made for photographers who shoot fast action and need speed with fast AF, such as sports or wildlife. It is also a good choice for those who need reliable cameras, such as in photojournalism or in weddings. In terms of the video, it falls behind some of the new Nikon cameras, which means that it is made primarily for photographers. It is capable of shooting 4K videos at 30 fps and Full HD at 60 fps, so it will still be useful for photographers who also need to take few videos without the need of a separate camera like wildlife photographers. In this review though, I am not going in detail into the video features. Do stay till the end of the video. I will take you behind the scenes, share few photographs, as well as my thoughts about the camera. A few reviewers said that they were disappointed about this camera without even picking it up. I will be honest with you. When Nikon announced the D6, I read the specs and I watched a few YouTube videos where almost everyone was saying that this is hardly an upgrade from the D5. I wasn't excited either, but that was before I got a chance to test it out. Let me warn you, if you do pick this camera up, you're not going to keep it down. This camera is meant to be shot with, it's meant to be photographed with. After using this camera just for a few shoots, I almost didn't want to go back to my Z7. And as a friend from Canada said earlier, This camera proves that DSLR is not dead. The D6 literally has the best and the fastest autofocus that you can find in any camera right now. I am amazed at its capabilities. I designed a shoot where I was literally shooting in the dark, and this camera focused every single time. When you shoot on a camera like this, you can truly forget about the camera itself and purely focus on what you are creating. I love designing my photographs. I always say that you don't take a photograph, you make a photograph. And you should use whatever gear helps you do that and not come in the way. Hi guys, today we're going to be trying out something super trippy on the Nikon D6. We are shooting in the screening room of WeddingNama office today. We created a few graphics and projected them on the white wall which we use as a screen. This project is all about creating some very graphic imagery using lights, shadows and projections. My model Riddhi did a fantastic job even when she had to look directly into the projector almost throughout, which is a very difficult thing to do. It's a wrap. I really enjoyed shooting with this beast. That's the first time I didn't need to use my Profoto's modeling light like I do when I capture after parties to help me focus. I didn't need it. Let's discuss some of the features of this camera and what makes it stand out. The first thing to notice is its powerful brand new autofocus system. It is faster and more accurate than the one on the D5. I've used the D5 as well, so I agree with that. It has 105 selectable AF points with 1.6 times more defocus information than the D5 for enhanced AF tracking, all cross type, all selectable. Some of you may know that the D5 had 153 AF points, but only 55 of them were selectable. Here you have all 105 selectable points, which gives you greater control. Did I miss the spread of focus points across the frame that I have on my Z7? Maybe while using the optical viewfinder. But the good news is, if that's what you're looking for, just turn on the live view and you have a mirrorless-like experience, but with contrast detect focus tech, unlike the Z6, Z7 and surprisingly the D780, which is with the phase detect autofocus. So I still prefer to shoot on this camera with the good old optical viewfinder. Even while shooting with the viewfinder, it did not limit me compositionally, as most photographers can definitely focus and reframe if needed. They have a newly designed multi-cam 37K autofocus sensor module with triple sensor arrangement for each focus point, which reduces the non-AF sensitive areas. Oh, they have done a ton of other things to improve the autofocus in this camera. So in low light situation, while capturing fast subject, I would rather pick this one up than the D5, even when the D5 is already so good. The result? It's the best that I have seen on any Nikon camera. It also has the most customizable menus you will find in any camera ever. So while you can select all those focus points individually, you can also customize group area AF with 17 patterns available, which can be useful in so many different shooting situations. It has a wide single point watch area option in case of sudden unexpected movements, like a bird taking off suddenly or an athlete moving off course. It has a 20.8 megapixel full frame sensor and is a 6th generation DSLR. The resolution is kept this way to allow photographers who need a fast workflow and need to quickly transfer their files to their agency in the middle of their shoot from the camera itself. The use of a 20 megapixel sensor also offers lower noise as well as an impressive ISO range of 100 to about a lakh, which is extendable to 3.2 million. The low light performance of this camera is one of the best in the market. I could easily bump up my ISO to even 10,000 without much noise and get a professional grade photograph. The image quality, as expected, is superb straight out of the camera. It has a new auto white balance algorithm for improved consistency. I could see this in all my photographs as I use the auto white balance. They have also given 20 creative picture controls for those who want to give an artistic look to their imagery in camera, plus a lot of options in camera for quick editing. The look and feel of it is pretty similar to the D5, which is one thing that I love about Nikon cameras. They don't change the positions of the button and the ergonomics that we so love. The shape is slightly different at the top due to the built-in GPS. They have added a Kensington lock that might be useful for certain photographers. It has built-in GPS, built-in Bluetooth, built-in Wi-Fi, all of it for a faster in-camera workflow, and can be paired with the WT6 wireless adapter for even more functionality. They have also given options like flick up to rate and attach a voice memo for an enhanced post-shooting workflow, also for a faster delivery. Instead of the micro USB port, it now has the USB-C port for faster connectivity. It shoots 14 frames per second. I used it in the AFC mode while shooting football and was amazed at the number of shots I got in focus. It's incomparable to any other camera I have worked with in the past. Even in the silent mode and in the live view, you can shoot at 10.5 frames per second. This might be lesser than the competition, but I personally have never felt the need for more speed than that. It has mirrorless like live view shooting with face and eye detect autofocus, except for the tilt screen, which I wish they had added, but I understand that for weather sealing purposes they need to keep it this way. The touchscreen is very good and useful not only for zooming into the photographs, but now also for menu selection and also selecting the focus points while shooting in live view. It has dual CF Express Type B or XQD card slots. It uses the EN-EL18C battery that lasts up to 3580 shots according to the CIPA rating, but practically it can last for way longer than that. This is something I miss on the Z7. Like the D780, it has a minimum shutter speed of 900 seconds, which is going to be very useful for photographers who shoot long exposures and also astrophotography. As expected, it has rock solid build quality, and some people were scared to see me shoot with this handheld with the 120-300 lens in the rain and the muddy field. Well, guess what guys, this camera is made for rough and tough handling. No problem at all. In fact, it's meant to be used in challenging situations, and it will feel bad if you use it with too much care and caution. Having said that, please take care of your gear, guys. Oh, and by the way, I never ran out of buffer speed even while shooting RAW. So I don't think you need to worry about that. This is while using a XQD card. I can't even imagine trying this on the CF Express. Having used both cameras, I can safely say that the D6 is definitely an upgrade from the D5, especially when you compare the fast autofocus performance in low light situations and while capturing fast action. Because whether you are a photojournalist, sports, wedding, or a wildlife photographer, you cannot afford to miss your shot. You cannot recreate a moment, and you will need your gear to be good enough to give you that confidence in the field. The D6 is not for everybody. A lot of DSLR lovers can still pick up the D850, which is a fantastic camera, and be happy, or even with the newly launched D780. The D6 is specialized equipment meant for professional photographers who might end up shooting in difficult and challenging situations and need that advanced autofocus capabilities that we spoke about. They understand the value of the upgrade, and they understand the importance of never missing a shot. Now, I have to return this camera. Would I buy it? If I was making a living out of action photography, definitely. Would I buy it if I had already had the D5? Maybe, if I can get a good exchange offer for it. But for now, I'm going to wait for a mirrorless version of this. Team Nikon, do you hear me? Thank you for watching. Please let me know your thoughts and comments below. Do subscribe to my channel for more such discussions related to photography. And for filming related discussions, did you know that Akash has just started posting videos on his channel? Go check it out. I'll post a link maybe here or here. I don't know where the link is gonna be, but go check it out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay inspired.